Carruthers says the morphine is still turning up.
Makes sense. We have no idea how much of the stuff Lenny shifted. There's been no comeback from Cohen as yet.
Maybe Confidential Magazine is right, and Bugsy is on the slide.
You read that stuff? I wouldn't say it to his face if I was you. That is one hot-tempered son of a bitch.
Any available unit, the 484 suspect to be taken into custody at Sunset and Ivar. Unit to handle code 2 identified. Any available unit, the 484 suspect to be taken in.
Detective Phelps.
Look, Phelps, in a minute, a bagman named Rampley's gonna walk in here and put a mint on some horse running in the 5th. We don't care about Rampley so much as we want his boss. He's the one we're gonna put away for fixing the race.
You're hoping Rampley will lead us to him?
Bingo. Here's what you're gonna do. Get in there, blend in, wait for our mark. You'll be in a dark coat. Wait until he hands over the cash, then tail him. Good luck.
I'll wait outside. Keep an eye on the place.
That's that cop. Seems like a decent...
Give me $1,000 on Cavalcade in the 5th.
Hey, come on. This ain't New York.
Any available unit, the 484 suspect to be taken into custody at Sunset and Ivar. Unit to handle code 2 identified.
Car 11K. We'll handle the outstanding suspect.
Roger, 11K. See the detective. A possible 484 at Sunset and Ivar. Bookmakers. 11 King.
Detective Phelps.
Look, Phelps, in a minute, a bagman named Rampley's gonna walk in here and put a mint on some horse running in the 5th. We don't care about Rampley so much as we want his boss. He's the one we're gonna put away for fixing the race.
You're hoping Rampley will lead us to him?
Bingo. Here's what you're gonna do. Get in there, blend in, wait for our mark. You'll be in a dark coat. Wait until he hands over the cash, then tail him. Good luck.
I'll wait outside. Keep an eye on the place.
That's that cop. Seems like a decent guy.
Give me $1,000 on cavalcading the 5th.
Hey, come on. This ain't New York. You playing hide and seek, Mac? Oh, hey, what are you, the fourth stooge?
Got it, boss. A full G. She's coming in at 20 to 1. You and I are about to retire.
LAPD, you're both under arrest. Car 11K calling KGPL. Ambulance required at Sunset and Ivar. Shots fired and suspects are down. We're code 4, but I'll need an ambulance and a coroner.
Roger that, 11K. All units be advised, the 484 at Sunset and Ivar is code 4. Suspects are down.
Right. Let's see if we can find out who's been over-seasoning the soup in this place.
LAPD, who owns this factory, ma'am?
Mr. Parnell. Howard Parnell. I'll let him know you're here. Please, take a seat.
If you don't mind, we'll come with you.
If you must.
You just wanted a follower, didn't you? You sly dog. I must apologize for my partner's roving eye. He hates saying goodbye, but he loves watching them leave.
Give it a rest, Roy.
If you could show these men in to see Mr. Parnell, Doris. They're from the LAPD.
Follow me, gentlemen.
What is going on?
LAPD, sit tight, fatso. You could be in very serious trouble.
There's no reason to be rude. Take a seat, gentlemen. I'm sure we can sort this all out.
Maybe you can explain why we found $5 bags of marijuana in sealed Parnell soup cans.
That's an outrageous allegation.
How do you explain it, Chubby? We found at least 30 cans, all sealed up tight with your label on them.
Can I get a list of your employees?
course. We have nothing to hide. Doris, can you bring me in the current employee listing?
Here it is, Mr. Parnell.
On the desk, please.
Any name on that list that rings a bell?
This is familiar. 1452 North Los Palmas. A Jorge Garcia Cruz. The factory sealed cans we found suggest a very professional operation, Mr. Parnell. We're looking for an inside man.
I know nothing about this. I want this stopped as much as you do.
Tell me what I want to know, Parnell, or I will have half the LAPD down here tearing this place apart. You're hiding something.
Am I right in thinking you would not want to pursue misdemeanors outside your drug case?
Depending on what you call a misdemeanor, we might be prepared to turn a blind eye.
The truth is, I employ a lot of illegals. No one wants to do menial work anymore. Most of my factory staff are wetbacks. The local blacks and Chicanos all want jobs in aircraft factories.
Presumably because the pay is a lot better. How are your sales, Mr. Parnell?
Just fine and dandy, son. We're entering a new era of prosperity. I hope you're both big soup eaters.
Mr. Parnell, do you know what kind of trouble you're in? Come clean with us.
Okay, so things are a little flat. We're deciding whether to lower production. It's taken a while to adjust to not having any military contracts. You know, we sold Uncle Sam 5 million cans of minestrone.
Ever heard of Juan Garcia Cruz?
Not that I know of.
He has a brother employed here. You know him?
We employ large numbers of Mexicans. I'm not familiar with them all.
That's funny, Parnell. He has the same address as his brother Juan, who we shot dead less than an hour ago. You better give me something.
Look, I'm not involved in this. I'm getting enough grief from Washington. There's an investigation going on into profiteering. Like a guy shouldn't be able to turn a buck while the war is on.
I'm sure thousands of dead Marines sleep soundly knowing that you did okay. Tell us about Jorge Garcia Cruz.
Jorge? I had no idea of his last name. His team does daily maintenance on the conveyor belts and cookers.
You're being made a patsy by a dope ring, Parnell, and you're happy to sit here and let it happen.
You want my help? I said I'd help. You want to call me names? You can go fuck yourself.
We'd like to take a look around the factory floor, Mr. Parnell.
I hope we won't have to shut down the line.
No, nothing like that.
Thank you. I'm grateful for that. I'll show you around myself.
I hate seeing how things are made. This is going to be like that time I went to the slaughterhouse and couldn't eat steak for a week.
This is where the produce comes in. We peel and sort all of the vegetables and add them to the line in regular quantities.
Fascinating.
Why don't you keep quiet? Might learn something.
Oh, good God. This really is turning into some nightmare school trip flashback.
That's the cop in the newspaper.
I don't think I can help you, mister.
The guy who did the dahlia, they covered it all up. Some kind of conspiracy. the guy from the papers.
This is the hopper, which boils and purees the vegetables. The other hopper is for the pasta. This way, please.
You're loving this, aren't you, Phelps?
The soup is ladled automatically into cans. Next stage is labeling.
I'd like to see the packing and dispatch area, if you don't mind.
Sure. It's over here. Follow me. This is one of our dispatchers. Sergio, right?
Yes, sir.
These men are from the LAPD.
We should take a look at the delivery book.
Sergio here records our outgoing deliveries. They all go in the book. Just there on the desk. What were you expecting?
I'll have to come back at night to find out.
We're looking for repeat business in large amounts, Cole.
What's going on, Parnell? There's enough soup going to this place every day to feed a company of Marines.
What are you talking about?
Can I have a look at that coin?
Sure, why not?
Silver dollar, right?
Yeah, that's right.
The markings on it say it's been taken out of circulation.
Maybe. I'm not trying to buy anything with it. I like it. Brings me luck.
Do you have access to the canning area?
I do. But I keep to my station. Loading and unloading. Don't care much for soup.
Sergio, if you don't give me something, I'm gonna go to Immigration Services and have you deported.
I get a shipment once every 2 weeks. Ernesto does the driving. I don't know his full name. It's delivered here at night, or he gets it canned up. From here, it gets sent all over the country.
What do you know about the 20th century market?
Nada. I get the orders from upstairs. I send the goods where I'm told.
And you don't know Juan Garcia Cruz?
No, not me.
Juan Garcia Cruz is dead, lunkhead. His brother works here nights. What can you tell us, Sergio?
I'm just a dispatcher. Juan was crazy. Udo loved guns.
That's it for now, Sergio. If we need to speak to you again, we'll put in a call to Mr. Parnell.
If you have to, I guess.
We will be in touch, Mr. Parnell. It is imperative that things appear as normal here. Keep an eye on Sergio in case he gets tempted to blow the whistle.
Thanks. I'll do that. You're going to overlook my little immigration problem, aren't you?
Cheer up, fatso. We're gonna let you go on squeezing these poor saps a little while longer. Well, until some commie union types infiltrate this place. I am glad to be out of that place. I never knew fresh vegetables could smell so bad.
How many years have you been in Vice, Roy? You have any idea who Rojas was talking about?
The gringo runs the operation? Could be anybody. You don't expect those morons to be running the show, do you?
What's wrong with you?
Any unit in the vicinity of 211 in progress at 3rd and Union. Stand by for further unit to handle. Identify.
Sit tight. Let's take a look at what's going on.
Either these customers are serious soup lovers, or I think we found our middleman.
Car 11 King to KGPL.
Car 11 King, go ahead.
I'm requesting assistance in a B-Wagon at 20th Century Markets, 1558 North Highland. Numerous narcotic suspects. Code 2 only, no sirens.
11K, roger.
Okay. Cavalry should be here any minute.
LAPD, nobody move!
I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances. I did all this for my family. You gringos have no... I'll take my chances. I did...
Whatever you're carrying, hand it over. I'd say he's got about half a can left. I guess that makes me a pessimist.
can't take me in.
Take you in? Be glad he didn't shoot you. I wouldn't have chased you. If it was up to me, you'd be talking out of a hole in the back of your head.
I want information.
Senor, I would like to help you, but I got a family in Mexico I have to provide for. And my compadres are very unreasonable.
Your compadres? Turn out your pockets. I need Ray to run down these silver dollars.
I need to make a deal. I need guarantees.
You have identification? Sanchez Erto, Mexican, Tijuana address. Here's the deal, Erto. You give me information, and I won't give you to immigration. Give me EJ, the driver bringing in the shipments, or I'll make you for it.
I run the shop. That's all I do.
Start talking, Erto. I want the names of everyone involved.
What difference does it make what I tell you? I'm still going to jail, no?
Tell me about the soup cans.
The soup is very popular, as you can see.
Erto, you can skate on this. We're not interested in a flunky running a farmer's market. We want the people running the operation.
You seem okay, but you can never trust a gringo who wants something.
We know about Jorge and Juan. Juan is dead. Tell us how you know the Cruz boys.
Ernesto put together this thing. He brought in Juan, Juan brought in Jorge.
I don't give a fuck about your Mex buddies or their leader, Ernesto. Tell me about the white man with the silver dollars.
You're plumb loco, Jefito, if you think I'm going to talk about him. That man is cursed. I want nothing to do with him.
You're going to jail, Erto. Our jails may be nicer than what you could expect in Mexico, but I can tie you up in red tape for years. You've got this one chance to cooperate, Erto. Give me your delivery boys, or you'll do every year that we were saving for them.
All right. There's a shipment coming in tonight to the soup factory. Parnell's Soup Factory, 1 a.m. Ernesto will be there.
We should get some backup and stake out the cannery tonight.
Freddie said they were moving 50 pounds a week. That's a lot of soup cans.
I think this is an interstate operation. Moving dope around the country to selected grasshoppers. Local weed gets distributed in the usual way, through Pachuco street punks.
Someone must know something about this drug baron character.
Here they come. Let them unload the goods first.
Now?
Let's get them. All right, move. Move! Let's go! Everyone into position. Going hard. Keep it tight, okay?
NYSPD, put your hands where we can see them. Throw out the guns.
Go, Phelps. Get in there.
Weapons on the ground, now!
I'm gonna find you. He's there, right there! You're trying to get yourself killed?
How long do you think you can hold out?
Clear me some space!
All clear? I think that's the last of them, Cole.
Detectives, found something here you probably want to see.
Tijuana address. We should see what the federales have on him. $1 per dead man. Doesn't seem like much for a human life.
God damn. I think we found our stash, Cole. Take a look in these boxes.
At the very minimum, another 50 pounds.
Detectives, I think we got the guy. Does the name Cruz mean something to you?
It certainly does. be $1,000 here. Yet another silver dollar.
Phelps, Earl, looks like quite a bloodbath. What was this all about?
Drugs and money. What else? Speaking of money, where did that roll go?
I picked it up for safekeeping. The department owes me 50.
Ray, I have another 2 coins for you.
Great. I've got something to show you. It's all set up on the table over here. There. Take a look at these coins you've been collecting.
There are letters cut into each coin, along with not legal tender.
What does it mean? Those are Morgan silver dollars from the 20s. They were removed from circulation and sent for disposal. A number of smelters around the country had the contract. Look at them together. Can you work out what it says?
The first coin, MAS. The second, ANG. The third, KAY. The fourth, MET. The fifth, ALS. Masanke Metals.
A metal foundry. Would you like the address?
Would I ever?
1034 Vine Street, Hollywood. We'll finish up here. It's already been a long night, Phelps. See if you can talk them into giving themselves up.
I hope that big wad of cash doesn't weigh you down.
Get your priorities straight, Phelps. We're close to bringing in one of the biggest dope cases of the year, and you're worrying about unsubstantial evidence?
Locked. We need another way in.
How's that just...
Cover the back door, Roy.
I'm taking my money and going home. And fuck whose turn it is to mine shop.
Hey, what can I say? I got lucky.
Bullshit. You're cheating, and I'm gonna catch you at it before the night is out. Now deal.
Hey!
Throw out the guns!
Full house.
Cover the back door, Roy.
God damn it! You win one more hand, Andy. I'm taking my money and going home. And fuck whose turn it is to mine shop.
Hey, what can I say?
Reinforcements are on the way. Cease and desist.
Bullshit. You're cheating, and I'm gonna catch you at it before the night is out. Now, deal.
Hey, who the fuck is that?
Give me some cover!
You okay?
I'll tell you when I see what's waiting for us at the top.
Stay down!
You're fucking toast!
I need cover! Find some cover! Stay in cover!
I got him! The son of a bitch is limping!
Stay in cover!
Come get me!
Throw out the guns. Stay down. You're clear. Go. Give me some cover.
I got him! The son of a bitch is limping! Yeah.
LAPD, hands up!
Victor Sanders.
You know this guy?
I should have known.
Of course I know Roy. Roy and I have had an arrangement for
Get
many
up.
years.
You're under arrest.
Am I?
We have a mountain of prima facie evidence, as well as the
You'd
testimony.
be surprised how things have a habit of sorting themselves out. Evidence disappearing. Witnesses that can't be found. Policemen that forget. The impossible becomes probable when you have a client list like mine.
Shut your mouth. Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
Working vice can be a thankless task, Phelps. But on behalf of the brass and the moms and dads and the concerned citizens, I'd like to commend you and your partner for smashing this dope ring. Reefer is almost as big a threat to the children of this city as communism.
What about Sanders, Lieutenant?
Leave Sanders to me, Phelps. The chief will be looking after that one personally.
He will be brought to trial.
Phelps, we are celebrating your success. Don't push your luck. Sanders is no longer your problem.
Your platoon is what remains of recon. I'm folding you into the 22nd. You'll be going up that damned hill tonight.
We're intelligence gathering, sir.
I don't need intelligence, son. I need men who can hold rifles and kill Japs. Tonight, you're a rifle company. We've got cooks, mechanics, and stretcher bearers all going into the line. We aim to break them tonight, Lieutenant.
Good to see you, Hank.
You too, Cole. How's your war?
Not quite what I expected.
As long as I live, I will never get over that sound.
Hey, who's that medic? He'll be killed going out there.
It's Sheldon, the guy from the Osakawa Bridge. That guy's got no fear.
He didn't make it.
I didn't go out there to save him.
What are you saying, man?
I went out there to put him out of his misery, to ease his pain. Do you have a problem with that?
Murder, Corman.
That's war, Lieutenant. Smell the stench. Feel the whore's breath on your neck.
You need help, man.
Call for me tonight, Lieutenant. When you're up on that hill. I've been up there 3 times already. The circles of hell have nothing on Sugarloaf Hill.
Get this madman out of my sight!
You like the fight game, Phelps?
I did a little boxing in the Marines. I found it a pretty humbling experience.
Fix you a sandwich, buddy? Corned beef and egg salad, 12 cents. Bologna and ham and cheese, 10.
It's strictly a mug's game. You'll like this fight, though. A plucky limey's about to take a beating from an up-and-coming Negro.
You sound pretty sure about the result.
I ought to be. I got $50 on the black kid. Let's get a ringside seat. That son of a bitch Hammond made a run for his dressing room. Let's find out what's going on.
God damn you, Albert! You get out here right now!
Step back! LAPD! What's going on?
That son of a bitch Hammond has jammed the door.
And who are you?
Carlo Arcaro. I'm his manager.
I'm his trainer.
Interesting attitude to have towards a victorious athlete.
Victorious? We had an arrangement. We had a goddamn arrangement!
That limey bastard was paid to take a nap. He reneged.
And you were out of pocket?
Damn right. Me and a couple hundred other people.
Stand aside.
He squeezed out the window. I'll put an APB out on him.
Why would we do that? He won the fight fair and square.
To prevent him from getting clipped. He was paid to flop. There was big money riding on this
So are we
fight.
here because you lost money or because we're investigating a prize-fighting racket?
Very funny. Look around and see what you can find. Which is Hammond's locker?
Over by the pinboard, second from the end.
There's a phone number we can run by R&I, plus a bunch of names and odds. You're not the only one who likes a flutter, Roy.
I don't think this is going to help us.
You look troubled.
I'm in a jam, Doctor.
Can I help, Courtney? Is it money?
No, Doctor. That's okay. Do I have your professional confidence?
Whatever you say, we'll never leave this room.
I talked some of the guys in my old unit into doing something, and it's gone wrong. I guess I did it for the wrong reasons, for short-term gain. We came home from China on the Cool Ridge.
The morphine robbery.
That was us. I thought I could get the guys a fair share. Some sort of benefit for the sacrifices that they made in the war. Those guys deserve it, Doctor.
Oh, I'm sure they do, Courtney. But the deserving aren't always rewarded.
Tell me about it, Doc. We shifted our stuff onto this mob-connected guy, and it's been turning up all over town. It wasn't meant to be like this.
The presumption was rather naive, Courtney.
I know that now, Doctor. But people are dying.
Might I venture a few questions?
Sure.
Do your underworld contacts have all the morphine?
No, they don't. We doled it out, hoping we could control it.
Are they pressing you for further allocation?
That's the polite way of putting it, Doctor.
I may be able to help you, Courtney.
Thanks, Doc. It helps just to talk about it.
I mean, I have a solution that will help you financially and salve your conscience.
I'm all ears, Doctor.
I will transact to take all the narcotic off your hands, and you can rest assured that it will all be medically administered. I will use the funds that I no longer require for the purchase of medication and invest them in housing developments.
Housing?
The developments in question are housing projects for former servicemen. Your return will come from the sale of the properties, and your investment will benefit those that you care for most. Does this arrangement meet with your approval?
You're a magician, Doctor.
You better find that cocksucker and you bring him to me.
I feel bad too, Mickey. He guaranteed me he would take the flop.
I guarantee that you will be fish food if you don't bring me... Roy, you out of pocket too?
Mickey? Seems that way.
Don't worry about it. My boys are out looking for him.
Well, you'd better call them off. This is a police matter now. If anything happens to Hammond, I'll testify that you made threats against him.
Who's the Greyhound? He's a frisky one, isn't he?
Cole Phelps? Mickey Cohen.
I know who he is, Roy. I met his brother-in-law.
I think you had the mixture pretty scared back there.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address for the following phone number. AL345.
The address for the phone number is the Hotel El Mar, 6294 Leland Way, Hollywood.
Thanks for your help. You know the place?
Flop house. Quarter a night, no questions asked.
You seem to have a pretty cozy relationship with Cohen and Stompanato.
Do I note a hint of reprimand in your tone, Detective? Talking to gangsters comes with the turf. You should try out Mickey's place. He's got a haberdasher's up on Sunset. See if he can get you out of those old man's clothes that you slink around in.
It's a front for his illegal activities.
It is that, but he does carry some very sharp suits.
If it's okay with you, I'll stick with Brooks Brothers.
Yeah, what do you want?
LAPD. We're making inquiries into the whereabouts of an Albert Hammond.
No one here by that name.
You sure?
Sure, I'm sure. This isn't the sort of place where people use their real names. Take a look at the register if you don't believe me.
I used to be indecisive. Now, I'm not so sure.
Okay, so look for prominent Tommies. That should narrow it down.
I'm out of here. What the hell?
Winston Churchill. A very patriotic Englishman is staying in room 207.
I swear.
The old bulldog.
Straight to
Even at a flop house, Adley can't get out from his shadow.
Three blondes walk into a bar. You think one of them would have
Door's
seen it?
unlocked. Looks like he's had a broad up here.
Gives us angle if he has a real love interest. Looks like Albert has been doing some homework. 11 grand would be a nice little nest egg. Instaheat. Adrian Black's product of choice. Seems like a lifetime ago. Candy has expensive taste. Albert has his work cut out for him.
Who's Candy?
Candy Edwards, the lady who filled out this coupon. Does Albert have somebody special? I didn't see anyone in his corner at the fight. I guess a fighter has plenty of time on his hands between bouts.
All right, let's go after his girl. See if that gets us any closer.
He must be heading home. You know, I hope he makes it.
That crooked son of a bitch? No chance.
Probably nothing.
All right, let's go after his girl. See if that gets us any closer.
That's a guy. I heard he's an honest cop.
Hammond is over the hill. He's a punching bag for the up-and-comers. He should know his goddamn place.
I think he knows. I think he worked out the place isn't L.A.
He's punchy. His brain's going to mush. Winston Churchill? Give me a break.
Churchill is a fighter, Roy. Hammond didn't just scribble down the first... name you could think of.
So, you boxed in the Marines?
We all did. Standard training.
I can't imagine you ever played dirty.
The only prize for taking...
We need to know which room is Candy's.
Wow.
LAPD, ma'am. We're looking for Candy Edwards.
Apartment 7. You take the outside stairs by the parking lot and turn left at the top. You friends of the Italian guy?
Italian guy?
Yeah. Sleazy type? Gave his name as Carlo. I didn't like the look of him, but Candy has some funny friends.
Thanks.
This Candy broad must be as sweet as she sounds. All these gentlemen callers.
Give it up, bitch.
Sounds like we're missing
He's
all the
gone and
fun.
fucked
Get
both
in
of us,
there,
and you know
Phelps.
where he's hiding. Now tell me where he is before I cut you.
I told you I haven't seen him.
Like hitting women, do you?
We had a
This isn't gonna end well for you, friend.
All right. If you really want to dance.
Out cold, but breathing. Give her a minute and take a look around.
Carlo here seems to have the same friends as Hammond. What are the odds on them all being bookmakers? Nasty weapon.
All the Italians carry them. A real man uses his fists or a gun.
She's leaving town.
Not sure this means much. Don't think this is anything. Not much help.
Single ticket. One way. I guess there isn't a lot for Albert in Ohio. Scania sails from New York. Take a seat, Miss Edwards. We have some questions for you to answer.
Look, I haven't done anything wrong.
Ever? I find that pretty hard to believe.
Can you answer some questions now, Miss Edwards?
Sure, I've had worse. I'll shake it off.
We're trying to track down Albert Hammond. We have reason to believe he might be in danger. Do you know where he is?
No, I don't. I'm over Albert. I haven't seen him.
Save it for the suckers, Candy. Albert won big. He may not have told you, but you don't strike me as the type who leaves town when there's money to be had.
Call me anything you like, Flatfoot. I'm done with this burg and all the cheap chiselers who live here.
Do the names Harry, Mervyn, or Ray mean anything to you?
Could be anybody. How the hell would I know?
Give up these men, Miss Edwards, and we'll think about letting these charges against you slide.
What? Charges against me? All I did was try and look out for Albert. Now he skips out and I have to take beatings for him as well?
You're leaving town, Miss Edwards?
Yes, I'm going straight home.
Albert is going home by boat as soon as he collects his winnings. I know you're going to meet him.
Albert is going to collect nothing. He'll be lucky if he can get out of town in one piece.
How will you fare any better? They already believe you're in on it.
Hell, I know you're in on it.
You can think what you want, Buster. I'll take my chances. I got a few errands to run, and then I say adios to this dump.
We'll get out of your way, Candy.
We know you're a busy lady.
Like I said, I've done nothing wrong.
The LAPD expects a little more cooperation. You'd better watch your back, sister. Get out, Carlo, you hump. And get rid of that pig sticker. You ever pull that thing on me, I'll shoot you like a dog.
That bitch knows where Hammond is. She knows where my money's gone.
My money too, tough guy. I'll handle this. Bad people are looking to hurt Candy, and yet she's not heading straight for the train station? I smell a payoff. I say stake her out. See where she goes. Tail this broad. Don't let her get away, but don't get spotted. I'll bring up the car behind you. Tail this broad. Don't let her get away, but don't get spotted. I'll bring up the car behind you. Bookmakers?
Yes. Surprise, surprise.
Talking about on the radio? Want another commendation?
A blonde woman just came in here.
She went out the back way. Said she was being watched.
How much did she collect?
$3,600. She cleaned me out.
On the Hammond Kid Galahad fight?
You got it. I'm not complaining. We all made a lot of money on that one. Huge plunge on Galahad, and then Hammond knocks the bum out.
So she collected the money and went out through the back door?
Nope. She made a phone call over there, wrote something on a notepad, and then left.
What are you doing? An old intelligence trick from the Marines. We know where she's headed. Let's get moving.
Car 11K, 11 King. Further to your request, Bunko Fraud has 3 known bookmakers operating out of storefronts in the Hollywood area. Thrifty Liquor, 6106 Santa Monica, the Examiner Drugstore, and a Max Spirits at 1658 North Cherokee. KGPL clear.
Hammond backed himself to win.
And Candy is picking up the winnings. Smart play.
Question is Candy collecting on Albert's behalf, or is she cheating him too? Detectives Phelps and Earl, LAPD.
Relax, Cole. You just have a blonde in here, Mervyn?
Sure did. I'm just about to close up. She took me to the cleaners. 4,000 clams and change.
How long ago did she leave?
Maybe 5 minutes. Called a cab. Asked for a number. I told her there was a card over there by the phone.
Yellow cab. We need to get after her, fast. Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Can you connect me to the Yellow Cab Company, Hollywood 2187, please? This is Detective Phelps, LAPD. You dispatched a cab to 1487 Ivar Avenue, Hollywood.
Yes, sir. Sent 1 round from the pool.
Do you have the number of that cab?
Number 179.
Thanks.
We're done playing around. Get Mervyn to give us an address on Ray's place.
You have any idea who Ray is?
Sugar Ray?
Not now, Mervyn. Cole doesn't have much of a sense of humor at the best of times.
Ray runs a shop up on North Cherokee Avenue, just south of Hollywood Boulevard.
This broad's planning on cleaning out every bookmaker in town.
Hammond needed to make sure he was getting a bigger payday than if he'd taken the flush.
Never trust the limeys, especially where a fight's concerned. A mistake we can't seem to stop making.
All units in the vicinity and any central unit. Citizen report. It's a 415 at 7th and Central. Unit to handle code 2. Identify.
That's the cab waiting up ahead. She's not in the car. Don't get too close.
She must be inside.
We're on the move again, Cole. After her. Don't lose that cab.
How many stops is she gonna make?
Can you quit driving like a jackass already?
That bitch is giving me what I'm owed. That's all I know.
You got a pretty funny idea of what keeping a low profile means, Phelps. Pull over. She's heading inside. I think I just saw Hammond. I'll tail him. You get in there and stay with Candy. Make sure you don't let her see you.
Something funny about the clam chowder.
Pull over. She's heading inside. I think I just saw Hammond. I'll tail him. You get in there and stay with Candy. Make sure you don't let her see you.
Boy, let's take it some better days. Going to church doesn't make you a Christian any more than staying in the garage makes you a car. You're a real asshole. You know that? This guy's got a screw loose.
Are you drunk, mister? Or are you just cracked?
That's not...
Call an ambulance.
Hammond got away.
He said...
Just try and sit still, Candy. Who shot you? Was it Albert?
Car.
They're on the way. I have a patrolman searching the depot. The chief's putting together a manhunt for Hammond. He got the money, right?
Looks like it.
A tough bird, our limey friend. Using his girlfriend as the bag woman and then getting greedy over the split. He won't make it out of town.
That's how you see it?
I told you that cocksucker was a crook.
.32 caliber. One shot fired. The Egyptian Theater.
So, what now?
The theater, I guess. We don't have much else to go on. I'm stumped. Ideas?
Hammond must be hiding out the theater. Let's get there and square things up.
Poor girl. She didn't deserve that.
Poor girl. Half the precinct aren't taking a vacation this year because of her. You need to leave town a lot quicker than that if you decide to screw over Mickey C.
This seems like a long shot. Aren't they all?
Car 11K, Car 11 King, come in.
Car 11 King.
Message from the coroner. The cause of death was a knife wound. Repeat, a knife wound. Revolver appears to have belonged to the victim.
Son of a
KGB all clear.
bitch. He stabbed her.
I thought you said real men use their fists, not guns.
That guinea cocksucker. You think he got the money, too?
Come on, Roy. We're bringing this whole tragedy to its conclusion.
Why'd you kill her, Carlo? Your gripe was with me.
She was collecting the money for you. Mickey made it clear it was either me or you, and I intend to keep on living.
She stole those betting slips. She was running out on me.
And you were gonna let her?
No, I let her collect. I set her up, just like she set me up. Just like my manager set me up. Everyone wanted me to take a dive. Everyone wanted me to take the short money. It's for the best, kid.
You were washed up, kid! You couldn't climb, and you were too brave to sink. You were going nowhere!
Maybe, but I had heart. I was a Royal Marine, Carlo. If I lost a fight, it wasn't for lack of trying, and it wasn't for lack of courage. I didn't have much, but I had that.
I did it for you, and that's how you repay me!
You did it for yourself, and so did little boy. You did it to make a quick buck, and Candy did it to make her dream come true.
Blah, blah, blah. I've got... The money, all I need to do is get rid of you. It's gonna be a shame, kid, but that's business.
We've heard enough, Arcaro. Put down your weapon.
You're making a big mistake, Arcaro.
Come on, Cole. Carlos is
Throw out the guns.
Find some cover! Let's move!
Where are you? You limey cocksucker.
Stay in cover! Cover!
It's time to come out now, Hammond. Put the gun down, Roy.
That son of a bitch owes me a lot of money.
Catch. Escania sails from New York, Hammond. Be on the next train and don't ever come back.
Why?
Because I was a Marine and I once lacked courage. Everyone deserves a second chance. Now beat it.
Fuck you! That English prick is getting away with my money, Phelps!
I'm hearing rumors of a fight that was fixed, of gangsters looking to get square, that LAPD cops might be involved. Either of you two sons of bitches know anything about that?
No, sir.
So, the dead wop who turned up in this theater, who used to be a boxing manager, who murdered Candy Edwards, has nothing to do with the fix?
Absolutely not.
Earl, you're doing venereal disease citations until you can learn to stop lying to me. Phelps, got anything to add?
No, sir.
Get your uniform from your locker. You're back on the street. 187 at 5810 Murata Avenue. Homicide wants you over there. The coroner thinks the broad was whacked using the Army morphine. Don't say anything, Roy. Just get over there.
What's with that getup of yours, anyway? I should start introducing us as Detective Earl, and this is my science teacher, Mr. Phelps.
Your interest in my appearance is starting to get me worrying.
Like it or not, we're a dysfunctional couple now. People judge me with you on my arm same way they would a fat broad with a 5 o'clock shadow.
I really hope you're joking, Roy.
Someone ought to take him home. He's loaded. His mother would be
I'm trying to imagine you with a personality.
You seem distracted.
Christ alive, this is a nightmare!
We recovered the morphine. Some of it might be unaccounted for, so what? That's life. We did our job.
Closing one case opens another.
Do you have any idea what is really going on while we're wasting our time following this stuff?
Are you going to tell me?
The deals being done right now will change the face of LA forever, and we're wasting our time on some hump.
Someone's little girl.
Visit the morgue at the end of the month when the John and Jane Does are cremated. Their percentages. The odds for and against lightning striking.
All units, officers need help. Hollywood and Highland. Hollywood and Highland, officers. Need help. 211 in progress and shots fired. Unit to handle code 3, identify. Officers need help. Hollywood and Highland.
What have we got?
3 guys tried to knock the place over and got jumped. Now they got a half dozen patrons and staff for insurance.
Do we know the situation inside?
2 inside covering the hostages, plus this charmer at the front door. We need to do something about him now, sir. He won't negotiate. I don't kill this poor bastard if we don't put him down.
You come any closer, I'll pull the trigger. We didn't...
Car 11K, code 4 at Hollywood First National Bank, corner of Hollywood and Highland. Suspects are down. I need an ambulance and notify the coroner.
Roger on the ambulance, 11K. All units be advised, suspects are down at Hollywood First National at the corner of Hollywood and Highland. Central Unit 484 just 3155 West 4th Street. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
Second floor. Apartment 6. In the back.
Thanks. Bukowski, you made homicide.
That I did. Good to see you, Phelps.
You two want a hug? Or can we get on with it?
Relax, Rusty.
26 years old, fashion model. Found in the tub by the cleaning lady, Mrs. Reynoldson. She called it in.
We heard Carruthers thinks...
Carruthers likes to make work for people. Overdose of sleeping pills. Falls asleep in the tub. Rest in peace. Case closed.
Here, here. Mal is 100% that it's murder.
Do you mind if I take a look around?
Sure. Go right ahead.
Looks like barbiturates. Barbiturates. What else is rattling around in this thing? We should speak to a doctor. Prescribing both drugs would make her life a roller coaster. Quality English smoking jacket. I don't know anyone under 45 who would wear one.
Phelps?
Mal, we've had a look around. Rusty thinks it's a waste of time. What's your theory?
Come on, Mal. Tell us why we were dragged down here.
If the victim was alive when she entered the tub, water would have entered her lungs. The water is violently churned in the windpipe as she drowns. The result is that a lot of foam is generated. This foam is found at the mouth and nostrils in almost all cases of real drowning. Notice anything about our Vic?
May I took a look?
Be my guest. Take a closer look at her head and neck.
Her neck is bruised pretty badly. Very unusual ring.
I could be wrong, but it looks like a black sapphire.
Bruising on the forearms, and these look like bite marks.
Very good. The eyes are a classic sign of morphine, and the bruises tell their own story. I think one man held her down, and another held her arm and injected her. They put her in the bath to try to cover it as a drowning.
And spread a trail of barbiturates.
Take a look around outside on your way out and see if you can find the syrettes. It would make my theory.
And morphine would have been very quick, and there wouldn't have been much of a struggle.
Okay, so find two guys who recently bought syrettes and weren't junkies, and you might be onto something.
Doesn't give me anything to go on. Optimistic, Cole.
This is all top end of town stuff. Gives us somewhere to look. Beautiful girl. Clothes certainly aren't from the Sears catalog. Could have been a modeling assignment. It's a place to start. I'm Detective Phelps. I'm here to try and help Julia. Do you mind answering some questions?
Virginia Reynoldson, I'm just so shocked. I feel like there's something I should be doing, someone I should call.
We can make those calls, ma'am. Who needs to be notified?
That's just it. I don't know. Miss Julie doesn't have any family in town. Someone has to set her affairs in order. Mr. Henderson, maybe? Who else is there? I don't know.
If you give the details to the other detectives, ma'am, they can try and get in contact. Was Miss Randall depressed about something? Upset?
No more than normal.
What are you hiding here, Mrs. Reynoldson? Julia was obviously disturbed about something.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
She was taking barbiturates. She couldn't sleep. You must have seen them in her room.
You've seen the pillbox, the things she hid in there. I don't know how she supported herself. Always new clothes and jewelry. She lived like a movie star. A princess. Does modeling really pay that well?
Did Miss Randall have many friends visit?
I'm not sure. I only come around twice a week.
Why are you lying to me, Mrs. Reynoldson? Julia had men stay here.
I will not speak ill of the dead. You can't prove that.
Who owns the smoking jacket?
I wouldn't like to tell tales, you understand. But that's Mr. Henderson's. An older man, very distinguished looking. He seemed very much in love with her.
Where would we find him?
I'm sorry. I don't know. He said he lives in San Francisco.
What was it like working for Miss Randall?
Perfectly fine, officer.
Mrs. Reynoldson, it seems like there's something you want to tell me.
She was very high-strung. Lovely one moment and screaming at you the next. She wanted it all, and she wanted it damn quick. Of course, being so beautiful, it seemed like she was going to get it. Not the way it's turned out, though, is it?
Thanks, Mrs. Reynoldson. You've been very helpful. One of the other detectives will take your statement, and then you can go home. Stefan, Rusty, we'll take a look around outside and then follow up these leads. Can you get some guys to run down the jacket?
You think Carruthers has called it right?
He rarely gets it wrong.
I don't know. I'm with Galloway. I've met enough girls in my time who can't handle their dope.
Bukowski, Galloway. Quite the little reunion in there. Almost brought a tear to my eye.
They're good police.
How would you know? You got promoted so fast you barely had time to learn their names. Let me fill you in. Bukowski's a pushover. Galloway's a drunk.
You could learn a thing or two from both of them.
Please. They couldn't work a vice case if their life depended on it.
I don't see why they'd be any better or worse at it than me.
I noticed you said better. Hubris disguised as humility. Kind of your trademark, don't you think?
Why do you always twist everything? Galloway's got nothing to prove. He's been on homicide for years.
And he's welcome to it. You're a terrier, Phelps, and that's what I need. Not some old bulldog who can't get up a flight of stairs without coughing up his lunch.
Well, hello. What can I help you with today?
I recognize that guy from the papers. He's a cop.
LAPD, ma'am.
I hope I haven't done anything wrong.
No, ma'am. We're making some inquiries about Julia Randall. Does she work here?
No, I had to let her go. Is she in some sort of trouble?
She was found dead this morning. How long had Julia worked as a model?
Well, she worked in New York before coming here. She was a very beautiful girl. If you don't get a move on, young man, people will start to think that you've lost your mind.
Could you tell us why you let Miss Randall go?
Husbands sometimes come in here with their wives. When Julia Randall modeled, the husbands were often more interested in her than they were their wives' dresses. The wives weren't happy, and neither was I.
Did she have any close friends here?
Actually, yes. Heather Swanson. Would you like to speak with her?
I'd like that very much. Please don't inform her about Miss Randall's death.
Very well, officer. Heather, these gentlemen are from the LAPD.
I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. I understand that you worked with Julia Randall, Miss Swanson?
Yes. Julia helped me get my job here. She's not in any kind of trouble, is she?
She's a hellraiser, isn't she? Lives a fast life.
Oh, no. Maybe Mrs. Stanley would call her that, but I wouldn't. She's full of life, a wonderful company.
That's a lovely engagement ring.
Do you like it? Henry gave it to
I'm
me.
very interested in engagement rings. Do you mind if I take a closer look? That's some pearl, Miss Swanson. Would have cost Henry a fortune. He must really love you. How did you meet Julia?
I was introduced through my fiancé, Henry Arnett.
Henry is your beau. Tell us about it.
Yes, he is. Henry has a fashion business. He and Julia have been friends for years.
Are Miss Randall and Mr. Henderson engaged?
Who's he?
She was wearing a sapphire engagement ring. Someone must have given it to her.
She never mentioned a man named Henderson to me.
That's all for now, Miss Swanson. Could you ask your fiancé to visit Hollywood Police Station? It would be very helpful to our inquiry.
Now, wait a moment. I don't think I'll pass on that message until you tell me why you're asking all these questions.
Julia Randall was found dead this morning.
What? Oh, no. Oh, I can't believe it. She was so full of life.
Nice move not telling old Sweet Lips in there about her friend taking the big jump till we were half out the door. Very slick.
I figured we'd get more out of her that way.
You're learning, Phelps. We'll make a vice cop out of you yet. I swear, if we locked up every doctor in this town, Vice would be able to work half days.
Here, Stoneman, office 505.
Yes, sir, your name?
LAPD. We'd like to see Dr. Stoneman.
Dr. Stoneman is with a patient. Would you like to wait?
No, we wouldn't. Tell him we want to see him now.
There's no need to be rude.
Save it, sister.
Dr. Stoneman, I have some gentlemen from the LAPD here to see you.
Send them in, please. I'll see this patient again after they've left.
Your investigation is much more important than my sciatica. I'm just in pain.
Dr. Stoneman, we are investigating the death of one of your patients, Julia Randall.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Do you mind if we ask you some questions about Ms. Randall?
Not if it doesn't compromise doctor-patient privilege, Detective.
How well did you know Miss Randall?
little. She'd only been a patient 6 months or so.
Julia Randall has been your patient for nearly a year. I'm sure you know that.
Do you doubt my veracity, Detective? Do you have access to my patient records?
Your prescriptions contradict you, Doctor.
Miss Randall was in the fashion business, as you probably know. She was jumped up on Benzedrine by day and knocked down by sleeping pills at night. I told her to slow up, but no. Life was too short for her.
And you supplied the prescription for the Benzedrine.
It's not illegal, Detective. A lot of young women in her line of work use it for weight loss.
You wrote Julia Randall a prescription for Benzedrine. How can you account for that?
Miss Randall was in the fashion business. She wanted to control her weight.
Benzedrine is addictive, as I'm sure you know, Doctor.
As I warned her, but she was determined. She said she needed it to control her appetite.
Sounds like you knew her pretty well.
I knew the line of work she was involved in.
That'll be all for now, Dr. Stoneman. We'll be in touch.
The old boy's lying.
About what?
I don't know. He looked relieved when you said she was dead. That's a strange reaction to have to the death of a young patient.
Have you noticed how Croakers only pull out the physician-patient privilege card when they got some...
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Are there any messages for me?
Yes, Detective. The coroner's been asking to speak to you. I can connect the call if you like.
Please, thank you. Al?
Cole, can you get over here? I just finished the autopsy.
Sure thing, Mal. We'll be right over.
What are we missing? Let's go back to the apartment.
What are you doing?
Any Central unit of 484 just occurred. West 4th Street. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
I haven't seen much, Detective. The suits waiting upstairs can give you the story.
Mal will be pleased.
Well, that's hardly conclusive, given the number of those things we've come across recently.
The autopsy will confirm it one way or another.
I think our work is done here.
Cole, Roy, I have some information for you.
You're the only person enjoying this, Mal. Get on with it.
The bruising confirms 2 sets of hands, so we have 2 killers. Death was caused by heart failure due to an overdose of morphine.
Have you dragged us down here to gloat? We already heard your theory.
We agree that she was murdered.
Yes, of course.
I have something else to show you.
All right, Mal, what gives?
The dead guy's name is Jimmy LeBlanc, career burglar. He came in this morning. Someone stove his head in with a lump of 2x4.
So what? Good riddance.
I found 2 Syrettes in his jacket pocket.
Wow.
Hang on a minute, Roy. We're listening, Mal.
No sign of morphine use and no metabolized morphine in his blood. Scratch marks on his face.
Which could be from getting his head remodeled.
Time of death.